Hello everyone and welcome back to the HCW YouTube channel, and we're still on Twitch, so that sounds weird for anyone that's watching because we've already recorded a review for Bridge Pro Wrestling, but I am joined by the bastard. Are you still okay since I asked you
Oi!
about half an hour ago?
I'm here. I'm not dead. I'm still drinking very strong water.
Wonderful. Is that actually water?
Yeah.
You're actually not drinking. You're an animal, by the way, just throwing it out there. Oh, then again,
Well, this is the right show to bring up us being animals and drinking.
yeah, we had a nice bottle of Pepsi, Coke was Coke.
It was Coke.
Yeah, I drank a lot this weekend, by the way. As you saw, like I even stopped at Weatherspoons on the way back after we finished.
You're an animal.
Yeah, brought cut drinks for the car the next day. Yeah, absolute animal. But we are here to discuss a new company, a new wrestling faction company, extravaganza of wonderfulness. Premium Wrestling Entertainment.
Extravaganza.
Yeah, Premium Wrestling Entertainment with their show Easter Extravaganza. Slightly after Easter, but it still counts.
Yeah.
So, what were you expecting?
Well, first of all, I just want to make you aware that DP doesn't respect you.
I've never respected DP. Just look at the
But
showdown
you know what?
scores. I absolutely obliterate this fool. Let's
But
continue.
I will respect your ability to drink.
I did well with that Pepsi Coke.
I mean, it was very weak.
Yeah, but you know, it was a bit more. I don't drink spirits at all. I don't drink Coke spirits at all. So like it was a bit more. Yeah, I thought I did well. Like if it was stronger, I probably would have died. But it was good.
But yeah, so PWE.
Yes, Easter Extravaganza.
Yes, the extravaganza. We went into this, like I said, with Bridge. I was going to go into this completely with an open mind and just let the show do what the show does, and then see how it feels. I had zero expectation, and not in a negative way. I just had no expectation. Let's just see what happens. So, walking in, first impression is community centre, isn't it? It's a little community centre. It had Wolfram vibes to it, I want to say, to be fair, the way the room felt. And I was like, okay, it's got that nice, compact feel. This is going to be the type of place where we hear everything.
Which we did, yep.
And everything is going to shine. And fuck, we did. And it was so much better than I expected it to be.
Yeah, it was very fun. And what I liked about it, the show didn't start till I got there.
And they waited for Rate.
The bus, the number 15, like going out of topic, well, technically on topic, is the worst bus in the world. It felt like it took longer than it should have. I had a bus nap and woke up in Fields. Like I messaged you going, I think I'm in Swindon. I didn't realise there was a second Swindon in the UK. I was like, I don't remember Swindon being this near.
Yeah, it's a Womban fake Swindon, but it's there.
Yeah.
It's a very strange, random thing.
But back to the Wrestling Extravaganza, Saturday 27th. So we kicked off with a matchup which was Big Mike Wild. First time seeing Big Mike Wild versus Stephen Keane. Good old Steve Keane. Steve came out to rapturous boos, which you didn't help, did you?
No. I wanted to make sure that he knew I was there.
Yeah.
I needed him to feel every bit of disdain and hatred towards him that he deserved.
And what I loved about it...
he did not look me in the eyes once.
Yeah, what I loved about it, you booed him, he looked at me and talked crap at you, because he didn't want us to look in your face, because he would have broke... Big Mike Wild is a unit of a man. With a superb moustache.
What a large gentleman.
Yeah, absolutely superb moustache. Keane's a big guy, but he was outpowered straight away in this matchup. Just thrown around the ring. He kept calling for a chop, Wild, and Keane was like, no, let's not do that. Don't want to chop.
Yeah,
don't want to chop.
They were selling straight into them chops, weren't they?
Yeah.
And it was great. Like the shallows, the campness. It was all fun, and the crowd was eating it.
Yeah, what I liked about it was like a focus. It was like a Gunther kind of focus. His main weapon's a chop. Let's work on his hand, which was what Keane was doing. If he can't throw a chop, I'm going to win. So he's working the hand a while. Keane then went to the high risk district because, Keane, that high flyer, went for an axe handle, got punched right in the gut and got flipped straight over. What he then got back on top again and was still working on Wild's hand. And Wild finally chopped the crap out of him, which Keane wasn't happened. Threw him in the ropes, clothesline, and Keane somersaulted, like moonsaulted, which I didn't expect Keane. He turned him inside out. I don't know if Keane wasn't, if it was mainly Keane or it was happening no matter what.
Yeah, Keane got legit turned inside out. Everything about it was beautiful.
And then Wild picked up the wing. Wild picked up the wing. Wild picked up the win with the hardest razor's edge I've ever seen. Not from Wild's, like the ring sounded horrific. Like it sounded just like proper
yeah. Keane
Yeah.
Keane tried to fly again, didn't he? And that was a bit silly.
Yeah.
And Mike chopped the living poop out of the guy. And then the razor's edge, the landing on that was just painful.
Yeah, it sounded, we spoke about it during the night. It sounded less painful to land outside the ring.
Yeah. That ring, as every time one of the guys took a bump in that ring, it vibrated through us sitting in the back of the room in the corner.
And you know what was good? I spoke to Valentino at DCW, and he said that ring was fine. It wasn't actually that hard. It sounds hard, but it actually wasn't. I was like, that's mental.
Even better then. It sounds violent.
Because it sounds violent, that adds to it, and I loved it. He said the ropes sucked, as in like they hurt, but he said the ring was fine. Like the ropes, you have to get used to being painful. But yeah, he said the ring was it just added to the atmosphere, and they did really well with that. And as I said, like the razor heads, it looked brutal, absolutely brutal. I rated 2.5 stars. Decent opener.
Yeah. I'm not surprised you did it 2.5. To be fair, it was a very camp match. I'm not mad at that. I'm okay with a camp match occasionally, and this was fun. I love Steve Keane anyway. I mean, I hate him, boo, but it was very fun the way they started the match off, like Mike going for that chop, Steve Keane running away. He squealed as he got thrown across the ring, which is always funny to hear Steve Keane squeal. The accent stayed throughout the match, which is something that's very rare for Stephen Keane. The accent tends to disappear as the match goes on, but he kept it up all the way through. It was really good. But the way he worked the hand, Steve Keane was telling the story as far as the actual match goes like that, and he did that really well. The crowd was eating it up for the chops and stuff. It was really fun. It was a really fun camp match. So I gave this 2 stars.
Yeah, good opener. Set the tone in the night, which I liked. We moved into a triple threat match. So we had Lydia Cruz, Violet Knight, and someone I'd not seen before, Chloe Nightshade, who was a part of a group. What was the group's name, bastard?
Black Country Combat Club.
What do you think of that, bastard?
I was not a fan of the name of the group.
I get it what they're doing, but it's also a bit on the nose.
Yeah. We'll talk about Aidan Potter a bit later anyway, but I wasn't a fan of the name of the group.
Sound like you're in witness protection. But yeah, so this started off with Lydia and Nightshade brawling outside the ring. And what I really liked about this was that Violet Knight was just in the ring going, "Go on, do it."
She was shadow boxing in the ring. Yeah. It was great. Yeah.
Violet was watching the ring. Then they got in the ring, and Chloe hit a massive spine buster on Lydia. And I said, once again, the ring helped with a lot of this. She was working over. Chloe was working over both girls. She mainly on Lydia. Then they brawled outside a bit more, and Lydia Cruz hit a massive dive outside. Like, no shit's given dive as well. Just happened.
Yeah.
Then we got the good old-fashioned Tower of Doom. And what I was really surprised by, that Chloe Nightshade, she was the one that took the suplex. Like, that ring. You know, I was like, she was the one, you know what, I'm taking that suplex. And she took it.
It sounded horrendous, didn't it?
Yeah.
It looked fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
It looked painful. It made the people around us, like, wince. That's how bad it looked and sounded. It was
It sounded like someone
really
getting hit by a car. That's what it sounded like. That's the kind of noise. It's just like a straight...
Yeah.
There's no, like, bounce or anything. It's just like, Violet then tried to get her finish in. Wasn't able to. Everyone was then hitting, like, big moves at that point. Chloe then hit, like, a brutal glam slam. And then just absolutely kicked the crap out of the last person with a roundhouse kick. Roundhouse knee. And, the things disappeared off the screen. Wonderful.
Not the thing.
Why is that on that file? Has that gone to the wrong file? Let me put the new file on. There we go. Cool. Don't know why it's done that. We're back in the room. So, yeah, she hit like a brutal knee strike and a very high kick to pick up the win. So, Chloe Nightshade picked up a big win, and the ending of that match really picked up. I wasn't really into it until the last few, probably about a couple of minutes. Right at 2 3/4.
So really good, really good. Another match that we've seen. It was really good finish. The building to the finish was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Violet was over as fuck.
She's over
People
everywhere.
absolutely love that. Yeah, she's brilliant. Like I keep saying to people, like how much better she's getting, and she's getting better and better each time we see her. She really is. Lydia's great as well. That's definitely not somebody just to ignore. She was really fun. Huh?
You what?
What?
You what?
What?
You what? You what?
Yeah, we got that going a few times in the night as well, which was fun. Chloe was hated to an absolute passion by the people, which was fucking so good. Like, people really disliked her, and fair play to her, because she did that. Because when she first came out, there was like, "Yay, boo! Don't like you. You're a bad guy." And then after a few minutes, I was like, "Hold on, you're a fucking arsehole. I really dislike you."
And then my favourite part, someone shouted at her going, "You suck," and she went, "I'm winning." It's like...
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Do you like this video? There is a button. It's a very sexy button. It says subscribe on it. I wish I could click on it, but YouTube won't let me. Damn fuckers.
He bought me that, dude. Really, yeah, she did really well to get over like that. It started off like, well, it started off with Violet shadow boxing in the ring, which popped me while the two ladies were beating the shit out of each other. Mm-hmm. And then it was a very basic back and forth standard triple threat, wasn't it?
Yeah.
One, in, out, back, forth, like that. But the last few minutes were just hard hitting, absolute back-to-back beating. Good wrestling as well from all three women, which is good to see. And then Tower of Doom was obviously beautiful. But yeah, I really did enjoy this match. I really did enjoy it. 2.5 stars for me.
Wonderful. Yeah, very good. I said, like, the middle bit, kind of, I wasn't into it, but the finish was very, very good. And her kicks were brutal, Chloe Nightshade. Definitely check her out. Good. Yeah. We move on to the... I think, it was the first half main event, wasn't it? We had Matt Adams, the Canadian, blame Canada. He came out with a Canadian flag, just so it wasn't clear enough, versus Ashley Dunn, who came out to "Sorry You're Not a Winner." They did the clap at the start, and I was like, "Oh, they're going to do it in the ring as well," and they cut the song off, and I was so annoyed. Like, everyone was rocking out to that song, and they just turned it off.
Mate, it was great. The music started, and people in the crowd knew what was about to happen.
I was worried that they didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, you got that clap at the start. I was like, fair play. They got it. Here we go. And then he gets in the ring, and me and you are like, yeah, here we go. Oh, it's cut.
Yeah, I mean, like,
They're just. I was
um,
waiting to go again.
I had the luckiness of seeing them at DCW the next day, and they made sure it carried on. So Ashley was on the top rope, kind of like getting his crowd. So this was after the music was cut off. So I don't know if it was supposed to be at that point. And then Matt jump started it, hit him from the behind. Matt was wearing him down at that point straight away. Dunn had a big fight back. He's more of like your athletic, random, quick moves out of nowhere. Whereas Matt looked like we described him as the Canadian Cesaro. Literally,
Yeah.
bald, ripped to hell, white trousers. He hit a massive powerbomb, and I thought Dunn was done. That wasn't supposed to come out that way, but that's the way I'm going with it. Dunn followed this up with a tornado DDT when he was able to get back to his feet. A pump kick followed by, I call it a Tajiri special for anyone that is the springboard where you fall on like sent on springboard back into an elbow drop. Then he hit. Matt was leant over in the ring. He went to the top rope. Ashley hit a double foot stomp on his back. Went cruising to the other side of the ring really quickly. Jumped back up and hit another double foot stomp. But this one, he kind of double foot stomped him, but he slipped at the same time and sent on them straight afterwards. And that got him the win.
Coup de grace into an unintentional senton.
Yeah, coup de grace into the Samoa Joe senton.
My notes for this are wrestling. They had a good wrestling match as well, and it was really good. Big Lance Storm, Canadian Cesaro, Matt Adams.
Mm-hmm.
It was impressive to see the
Yeah.
look of the man, the overall look, presentation of it of Matt Adams was really good to see. He looked like a pro wrestler.
Yep.
And I really liked that. Yeah, this was a really good match. Well, for me, I thought it was a really good match. It was back and forth wrestling. They got the good guy, bad guy bit in there too for the crowd. I really enjoyed this. I gave this 2 3/4.
Yeah, I rated it 2.5. I feel like it just didn't get going. It just seemed to stay in the same lane for the whole match. Like, it was a fun match. Like I said, 2.5. But it just didn't get going for me.
There you go.
There we go. We move on to the second half, which started off with a triple threat between Nate Rowley, who, for some reason, hated everyone in that building, including myself.
He especially hated you stalker.
Yeah, it's because you called out and go, look, yeah, and he's stalking me.
Look,
and he said,
he's stalking you.
And he said, I've started calling you. It's not going to happen. And then I think I broke him for a second. I went, see you tomorrow night. And he was facing Woody.
You are baby reindeer now.
He was facing Woody Anderson and Luke Basham. So it started off with Nate trying to square up to the 2 tallest guys in the world. He did the good old-fashioned spot. Didn't really happen. Basham forearmed Nate, and I thought that he was done for the rest of the night. Like, he dropped like a sack of shit.
Yeah, he took that hit and went down like he'd been shot. Yeah.
Basham and then Woody went at each other, kind of started to brawl outside. Nate didn't end in a flip dive, landed on both of them outside. Then we saw some vintage Basham,
aka the Savile spot.
So for anyone that doesn't know what that sounds, because I'm not explaining it that way, Basham. It's hard to word this. Basham gets people from the crowd.
Steals a kid out the audience.
Grabs them in this position and then rams their foot into their face. So Basham asked 2 people, they said no, and then he asked the 3rd person. By the time they were about to speak, he was already in their arm. So he hit 1 kid into Nate, hit a 2nd kid into Nate, and then hit 2 girls at the same time into Nate.
Who are Nate?
Yeah, poor Nate. This followed by a DDT on the ropes. Nate then hit a 619. Followed by a phenomenal forearm. Woody took all of that 619, didn't he? Basham
Yeah.
took a slight bit of it because he was on the outside. Woody took all of it.
Woody
Niv,
took the entire boot.
yeah. Woody got his own bat though and hit a variant of the End of Days on that ring. It was the End of Days for certain people. This was followed by a Torpedo Moscow. You know, love a Torpedo Moscow. You don't see that often outside of Ilya anymore.
Yeah.
Nate then hit a Canadian. Second time we've seen it in 2 days. Still looked beautiful. But unfortunately, well, it's unfortunate. Yeah, that sounds really biased. Like I really wanted Nate to win. But unfortunately for Nate, that's where I'm going to go with that. Luke Basham picked up the win with a cutter, followed by a crossroads.
You did?
He's here to show the world.
Yeah.
I read it for his stars. Really enjoyed the match.
Yeah, this was fun match. This was good. Nate's a standout for me. I think he's doing really well at the minute. I mean, I was there to stalk him for those 2 nights with you.
Yeah, but you didn't get abuse.
It's because I didn't carry on stalking him, and I wasn't stalking him previous week either.
Well, what's weird is here's
stalked
Nate Riley.
However, let me grab him out of the wardrobe. No, this was fun. I enjoyed this. Nate was great. Woody can move for a fucking big guy. He can absolutely move. And like you said, that fucking diving headbutt that he fucking did was just great. Seeing Woody do that because of the size of the guy. I mean, it's impressive when Hila does it.
I've seen a wardrobe come at you. Yeah.
Having Woody do it, you're like, yeah, fair play. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't think it wasn't as good as the previous match for me, because the previous match was very wrestling focused, but I still enjoyed it. I gave this 2 1/4.
Good. You're wrong. No, we move on to a tag team match. So we had the Reborn Rascals, which was Josh Smith and Samuel Hughes.
Yeah, typical hobo stalker people.
Versus Aidan Potter and Matt Archer. The Black Country Combat Club, or as Cage Match got them down as Black Country Combat.
Black Country Combat.
Yep. So do you want to say your opinion on it now?
Yeah, so the Black Country Combat Club, I get it. I get where you're going. I get what you're doing with it. I get where you're going with it, you know. But I don't think that's the route you should have gone with it. I don't think that's the route. Like we said this straight away. As soon as they announced that, we just looked at each other and didn't need to say anything. Because it was like, what? I don't want to be an arsehole about it because Aidan did really, really well that night. And I was really impressed. I'm about to talk about that. I just wasn't a fan of that name for the group, for them calling themselves that. I'm not a massive fan of people taking the stuff that's current anyway and using it.
Yeah, we discussed
it's
that
one thing.
Top Turnbuckle, didn't we? With a certain R-Truth.
Yeah, we've spoke about that with R-Truth before. Like, if it's current and it's working at the moment, leave it be. It's theirs.
This is where it's all shame on us. We find out they're actually part of the Blackpool contract, and they're actually they were allowed to do it, and we're like, oh yeah, fool us.
But I was. It didn't take away from anything. It didn't. It's just that's purely being nitpicky. It's not a reflection on the guys in the match or how the match went or even how the night went. It's just being nitpicky on a name. That's all that is.
Yeah. It might grow on people. Well, it might grow on us. Who knows? Kicked off, Samuel Hughes was a house on fire. It's weird seeing Samuel Hughes liked. Aidan was getting booed out of the arena, which is good for him. The knees were to the back and the heels were in control for a lot of this matchup at that point. The Matt Archer, I believe, did like is it Matt Archer? Did I say his name? Yeah, Matt Archer did a fun spot which you missed, where the typical choke on the rope. I explained it to you, the choke on the rope where you've got the you either knee them. He did a variant, so he got the guy on the rope. He turned around and went, "Spot me, bro," and started lifting the rope up as he's choking the guy. Loved it, absolutely loved it. Sam made a comeback at that point. And then Clubby grabbed, I think it was Sam who was on the top rope. It might have been the other guy. And the heel team of Black Country Combat Club, picked up a win with like a variant of a shoulder breaker, kind of like a slam shoulder
Yeah.
breaker. Rated 2.5 stars. Didn't get going fully for me.
Yeah, this match didn't get going completely. It felt like it was constantly like trying to find the gear to keep moving. It wasn't bad. It was fun. The shoulder breaker finish though, I didn't hate that.
Yeah,
I
no,
did
it wasn't me
quite
saying
like.
it. In my head, I was like, was there more to that? Because it dodged rich shoulder breaker.
No, well, that's what I've got it down as. I've got it down as a really heavy shoulder breaker, and it did seem that way. I wasn't mad at it. I thought it was really good. It was a clever way to finish it. It was a clever finish. I do want to say with this is Aiden Potter. Like, I know Aiden outside of the ring, and I give him a lot of stick all the time, back and forth, because that's what you do. But
Well,
Aiden's improvement in the ring, yeah, I suppose. I've mentioned this to other people as well, and I said to Aiden, I'll be honest about everything about his performance and everything, and his improvement since the last time I've seen him is phenomenal. He's done fantastic. You can see it in his body. You can see it in his body of work. You can see it in his crowd work. The way he carries himself, the way he reacts with the crowd, he's different. He puts himself out there in a way for people to fucking mock and take the piss out of, but he's done it in such a clever way that he's over with it as well. And I needed to let people know that Aiden Potter has improved in ring as well as on his character. So well done, Aiden, because you did do really, really well that night, and you impressed me, young man. And I was very, very amused that you did that to me, because you made me go, well done.
Put on a hell of a show as well. Like, we haven't got to the main event yet, but he put on a hell of a show.
Yeah, but to the overall match, Sam Hughes, I don't like him as a face. It's weird to me.
Yeah,
It's
I don't think Samuel Hughes likes him as a face.
Yeah, it's just strange. But at the same time, Nate Riley, I don't see as a heel. I see him more as a face. But
Nate's a heel.
It's
He's
preferences in it. It's a heel, god damn it! But it's personal preferences. Sam Hughes is great. He's a standout. He was really good. Like I said, I enjoyed it. It wasn't anything amazing, but it was still fun, and the crowd ate every second of it up, and that's more so what you want. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I gave this 1 3/4.
There we go. So we'll move on to the main event of the evening. So we had the Dead Sea Souls facing each other for the first time ever title match for PWE, which PWE title, I think, was the name of the title. There wasn't anything fancy about it, which I like. I don't like when people just have random names for bouts, unless it makes sense. So CJ Rollins was getting absolutely, the cheers were like so loud. Valentino was getting a bit, but like the difference in it levels was insane. Rollins is over, baby.
Yeah. We'll borrow for a bridge for a second. A bridge that come out as the Dead Sea Souls, and the fucking roof exploded, and you're like, oh, these guys are over. But it seemed like CJ had a bit more of the oomph. This night at PWE, you could see that extra for CJ was just insane. Absolutely insane. And I want to also give a special shout out to some random kid that was at both shows that start to finish was an absolute legend, because he fucking went with it, and he was cheering all the way through. And this match, that kid did not stop chanting.
Yeah, and the worst thing, because he liked both guys. So instead of doing a good old both these guys thing, it was like CJ Rollins, Valentino.
It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. So well done, kid.
So we had the good old fashioned kind of like Hogan Rock kind of start, where it was a lot of chanting for both guys. Some graps are wrote here because they were just out wrestling each other, trying to get who's on top. Then the friendship started to falter a bit, pushing and shoving. Absolute chop city, just chopping the crap out of each other. Valentino was then turned inside out. Very Steve Keane-esque from earlier on. Both guys hit massive movers like slams, suplexes, just going for the win. CJ tried to hit his finish. Valentino reversed it. Valentino hit a big foot stomp. Frog splash. Then CJ got up and hit a German. He then, a throwback of the Attitude Era, hit a sky high. Perfect sky high. Yeah. Talk, I even got to do the...
You're looking at the real deal now. Woo!
Sorry, ass on the street. Back body drop on the apron, which just sounded softer than being in the middle of the ring. Still sounded griff.
Yep.
Then, was it CJ who hit the jackknife, or was it Valentino? It was Valentino, wasn't it? Yeah, Valentino hit a jackknife, then straight into a Shining Wizard. There was a Claymore strike at that point. CJ hit a Michinoku Buster. Referee was down at that point, if I remember. He got knocked out. Did he get knocked out? Because I remember CJ went to get the bout. Was the ref down?
I don't think the ref was down. I think CJ rolled out and went, I'm going
to hit him with the bout. Okay, it's just as soon as a referee Rawlins gets the bout, it just makes in my mind Mandela effect. The referee can't be up, surely. Rawlins, and then he went, after everyone was going, like, to be fair, like 95% of us were going, do it! You are the chosen one! Rawlins decides, no, I'll be the better man, throws it out, and then Steve Valentino rolls him up really quickly in a crate, small package, and picks up the win. I rated this 3 3/4 stars. But because CJ Rawlins said to me during the Violet Night match, you're going to rate this my match 2 stars, aren't you? So I'm changing my mind and rating it 2 stars. Can't.
You're going to turn up to a show and he's going to cancel your oxygen. That's what's going to happen.
He asked for it. You know, I rate his matches highly all the time, and he's like, no, it's 2 stars. Nah, 3 3/4 very good.
Yeah, this was really fucking good. You can tell just watching these two work that they know each other well now, as well. The smoothness and the transitions and everything was brilliant. That Alabama slam that CJ took looked like he fucking sent his head into his own arse.
Yeah, it
looked painful. It was nice. I loved it. That jackknife was rough as fuck too.
Wrestling's weird, isn't it? It looked painful. Loved it.
Yeah. I loved it. Fucking that when CJ, was it the Claymore and then the deadlift?
German.
It was so good. So I mean, CJ, like, we've banged on about how good CJ is every time we're together, and tonight's going to be no different because he fucking is. He's great, and he's going to be. But he doesn't hear you. No, he just hears me telling him he's great. That's what matters. But he's fucking great. It was a dead good match. Enjoyable start to finish, and the crowd didn't stop start to finish either. It was the main event. It was the end of the night, and not a single person stopped. They carried on with the boys all the way through. I gave this 3 3/4 as well.
Yeah, and what I really liked about this is you could tell how much this event went well. Valentino went to celebrate. The fans, CJ grabbed the belt, and we all knew he was going to give the belt as a nice thing. You know, the Dead Sea Souls are not dead. But most of the fans were like, it's him! But he gave the belt. The celebrated. Violet came down because she's part of the Dead Sea Souls as well. They went to stand at the entrance. And then there was a poor girl crying about CJ losing. And you could tell how much that showed. Like, it sounds weird to say that's good. But it's like, someone was that invested and was that gutted about CJ Rawlins. That's a good show. Yeah. Like CJ went over and couldn't console her. That's how much it meant to her.
Yeah,
that was me.
Was and then... but then the other thing with that as well, like CJ with that, like he was consoling her, and while that was going on, Valentino's coming round in front of us. And he's getting high fives off the kids and some of the adults. And there's a guy sitting in front of me.
Oh, I love this.
Who sat there like this. And Valentino was like, come on. And he went, no, get fucked. You didn't deserve that win. And I was like, that is amazing. Everything about what you just did is amazing.
Valentino did it a bit more smarmy, though. He literally stood there like he knew that the guy didn't want him, and he's like, I loved it.
He even tried to do a build up with it, didn't he? And he went, come on, everyone. And then instead of the guy going, all right, high five, he went.
Oh, such a good ending.
That's what he did. He got everybody involved, and everyone brought into the show, and they brought into the match. So it's great.
Yeah, should be happy with the show. Very, very well done. I'll be returning in October.
So
I think
will
it
I.
is. Yeah. So we've got a bit of a wait, which normally happens with new companies not running each week. You know, you got to each week. That'd be insane. Each month you kind of got to build it. So hopefully October goes well and they have a few more shows in next year.
Yeah, I'm definitely going back. Aidan, well done. Everyone there, well done. You all put on a show. You all did what you're supposed to have done, and that was to get over the show. Yeah, I've got nothing bad to say about it.
Oh, they had cheese and onion baps as well. Oh, I forgot about that. It just kicked them all, and that was beautiful. And it wasn't extortionate, £1.50. But then they started selling them for 50p. I brought mine for £1.50. Reimbursement! I did get in with no customer.
Tell you what, if I'd have had any money left, I would have brought them all at the end.
Oh, so good. Oh, yeah. that was a 5-star bap. It was just cheese, onion, butter. Oh, yes.
On a good cob as well. A proper good cob.
Yeah, proper cob. Oh, God. I'm changing the channel just to my review of cheese and onion baps. So good. I've had 2 reviews of them. I had a pork bap review at Swingy. Too sticky for you.
True, actually. Too much apple on that one.
Yeah.
Too much apple.
But yeah, let's not go back up. So, as usual, like and subscribe. People on Twitch, subscribe if you can. This review will be out at some point. Bridge should be out prior to this. I probably should get around with doing a preview for BCCW now. It's nearly coming up to May.
It is indeed.
Yeah, so
it's coming around and it's going to happen.
So yeah.
So more of me and you.
Wonderful. I'm excited. Anything else you want to bring up? You didn't bring up anything in the last video, so I'm assuming it won't be that much different now.
No, just make sure you check everything out on the socials. For all of us, HCW doing everything they can. They are doing great, and that's the only reason I keep coming back. And for the occasional abuse towards Rate. But also BCCW, as Rate mentioned, you can check that out, bccw2021.com for all the hot tag
rewind
merch is now live on there as well, including the beautiful new bastard shirt. Look at that for a shirt. Fucking beautiful. Check that out. That's on bccw2021.com.
I don't have a shirt. We don't have merch. We can't afford merch. Deeply can't even release a video. There's abuse at the end of these videos, every single one.
You know why? He's too busy going to fucking women's rallies and abusing them.
Yeah, he does hate women. Anyway, but that's it from me. What a way to end that on that bombshell. Goodbye, everyone.